What's up, YouTube? Sitting here over here in Odessa, Texas, waiting for a load. Nice, warm, almost 90-degree day. So I shut off the truck so I can make this video real quick. So it's going to be a fairly short one, hopefully. I've been getting a lot of questions about doing the lease purchase through Night Transportation. First off, I must say, if you're new to trucking, learn the business first. Make sure it's something that you can do. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to start off with a company, work for them for 6 months, lease a truck from them, and have to turn it in, 6 months, maybe a year down the line, because trucking ain't for you. But with that being said, learn the business, make sure it's something that you want to do, go from there. I myself, I bought a 2010 Peterbilt from Night, or I should say I'm buying it. My weekly payments and all that are fairly on the low side. I'm not going to say exact numbers because everybody's truck is going to be different. I know as of now, I don't believe Night has any Peterbilts left. They only have the Internationals and the Volvos. For their leases, most of their contracts are like 4 years. Anywhere between like $350, $400, $450, something like that a week. They got a maintenance repair program that you put, for every 100,000 miles, you add a penny per mile for that maintenance repair program. So like, say you get a truck that's got 400,000 miles on it, or in between 400 and 500. You're going to be paying the 7 cents a mile for your maintenance repair. And then every 100,000 after that, 500, 600, 700, it goes up a penny every time. Currently, right now, I'm paying 8 cents a mile. I'm at 500 and almost 40,000 miles, something like that. Their maintenance repair program is pretty much like an insurance policy. It'll cover all the major components, your motor, your trans, the cams, the bearings, all that stuff like that inside the motor. It covers your B services, so that way, or your PM, however you call it. So that way when you go to a terminal, you can get your B service, and it doesn't cost you a dime for that. It just pulls right out of the maintenance repair program. So, other than that, pretty much all the major component stuffs, that's what's covered in it. If you get with the owner-op recruiters, they can tell you more about it. They can give you the whole pamphlet on it, and that way you can go over it in detail and also in writing of what it physically covers, what it doesn't cover. You also have a maintenance escrow account, which with that account, it starts you off at 3 cents, and that's for whatever you want to use it for. Your fuel tax comes out of that. I got mine sitting either at 10 or 12. I can't remember what I put it at right now. I think it's 10 though. I know I'm thinking about jumping it up to about 15. But what that does is say if you want to plan a vacation, you want to take a week off. Well, because you're taking a week off, that truck payment is still due. So you're still going to have money coming out, and if you ain't working, you ain't making your payment. You're going to go negative. So I got mine sitting up there, so that way, once you get a couple grand in there or whatever, which at 10 cents, you figure on a 2,500 mile a week, that's $250 every week that's going in there. And that's a use it whenever you need it basis. You call up payroll, or not call them up, sorry, you send them a message or an email, tell them that you want, X amount of dollars out of your escrow account, and they'll transfer that over to your paycheck that following week. So, like for me, I took some time off. Actually, around Christmas time, I took off from Christmas to New Year's. So obviously, that whole 1 week, I didn't get paid nothing because I didn't run. So what I did is I had them transfer over money, so that way it covers my truck payment and all that while I was sitting at home. So it's in a way you're paying for your own vacation, so that way you don't go negative. But you can use that money for anything. Obviously, you don't want to keep it at a zero balance or a real low balance, because there's some stuff that, the MRP doesn't cover, which then that's what your maintenance escrow account's for. Like, I just had $4,000 worth of work. You know, my maintenance repair program covered probably about 3/4 of that. My radiator alone was like $1,600, plus, you know, plus the labor to install it and all that, which that wasn't covered. But, you know, other than that, I mean, you still have that escrow account that pays for some of your maintenance, your tires, your, you know, your A service or your pre-lube job service that you do, which that you can do it at any truck stop because that comes out of your own pocket. I myself, I do my own A services myself. Makes it easy, you know, when I'm sitting down on downtime, 34-hour restart, or just if I have, you know, if I know it needs to be done and I got about an hour and a half to do it, I'll sit there and I'll climb underneath the truck and lube up all my fittings and all that kind of stuff. But with that being said, I mean, your rate per mile right now, it's bouncing around because we just got a quarterly raise with our fuel surcharge, plus with the prices of fuel right now. Our fuel surcharge is or not fuel surcharge, sorry, the fuel protection it's a little bit on the lower side right now, but you know, obviously fuel prices are not going to stay as low as they are. They're going to go back up, which means, of course, when they go back up, your fuel protection goes back up. But overall, I've been leasing through night since May of 2014. So it's, you know, a couple months, not too much, but you figure 8 months, 9 months, something like that, whatever the hell it is. I don't feel like adding up the months right now. But right now, as of this time, I got roughly 90,000 miles that I put onto this truck. I got it with 450,000, and right now I'm sitting at, actually no, I'm almost at 100,000 miles now. So far, I mean, I've had some good luck with my Peterbilt. You know, I haven't had too much issues other than, you know, my radiator I had to replace because the seam on the tank broke on it. Other than that, you know, my DPF system problems. That's going to be any truck you get out there. You're going to have DPF problems. I mean, it's just filters clog up because they're being used. You know, it's certain stuff, but there's certain stuff that you can do on your own as a preventative maintenance type situation. I might make a video on that later on for the Cummins motor that I got, the ISX. But I mean, with that being said, I mean, maintenance, the main lease purchase program, Knight Transportation definitely wants you to succeed and pay off your truck. They don't want the truck back, obviously. They want you to succeed so that way you own it. Which that's one reason why I came over to Knight Transportation, because I knew I wanted to lease a truck. And I've read reviews. I've talked to many drivers before I actually jumped into the driver's seat of owner-op with Knight Transportation. I did lease with another company, and it didn't turn out too well. Come to find out that 95% of the people that lease their trucks they never own them. They got to get them turned in for some reason. But I mean, other than that, Knight Transportation's lease purchase, perfect. I'm doing real good. Obviously, like everything else, I wish the pay was a little bit higher, but same thing with company drivers. You know, everybody wants more money. That's what you're working for. You're working for more money. So everybody wants more money. But, you know, for the situation, I'm making more money than I was as a company driver on the most part. There are some times that, you know, I burn up more fuel than I should have because I ran a little bit faster than I should. You know, I averaged my speed around 58 to 60, 62 miles an hour depending on the load. For the most part, I'm cruising right about 60 miles an hour. I average about 6.5 miles to the gallon right now with my Peterbilt. Not the best in the world, not as good as some of these Volvos and Internationals are doing, but for a Peterbilt, for as heavy as the truck is, you know, I'm doing pretty good. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and shut this video off. I'm starting to get pretty hot in this truck right now. Other than that, you know, if any other questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment box below. You can also email me at truckerqa@gmail.com, just like my title on YouTube, Trucker Questions and Answers, except for the email is truckerqa@gmail.com. You can email me questions, put them in the comment box below. Like always, like, subscribe, dislike this video if you want. From there, be safe out there, drivers. If you're getting into trucking, have any other questions about the industry, feel free to get at me with that. I'll make another video resolving your questions if I can. Like always, have fun, be safe.